welcome to another episode of playonultra podcast. This is episode 199.
What?
That's the highest number so far.
Mm-hmm.
That's true.
I wonder if the number next month will be higher or lower.
Oh man,
stay tuned for
tuned.
stay tuned. It's a mystery.
What if this is our last episode? This just happens. We just never record another episode.
There'll be someone finds us trying to figure out the mystery of the Play on Ultra podcast.
So the last time we recorded was only like 2-3 weeks ago.
Yeah, not much has changed, I'm
Yeah.
afraid. That's okay.
I'm on the last episode of She-Hulk. Haven't watched the last episode yet.
Yes,
I
I just watched it.
Okay, so spoilers, I guess. Stop listening for
Yes.
5 minutes.
Yeah.
Is it? I'm not sure if I'm making sense, but
Okay.
the villain group, at least at the end of the episode 8,
Uh-huh.
is very incel-ish, right?
Yes. Yes.
So,
yes.
okay, my question is, I know they're obviously shown as like the bad guys, but
Yes.
is that a good thing to be shown at all? You know what I'm saying? Like, is showing them glorifying at all, even a little bit, or even just acknowledging that they actually have power, or like acknowledging that they exist? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, there's just this hard thing of like, here's my opinion on it. It's a little cathartic to see them kind of out as they are. I get what you mean by is it giving them power. I think the problem is for a lot of women like me, I think it already feels like they have power is the problem. It's kind of late for that. There is something to be said to tell a story of you have no power here. I will say that the way She-Hulk treats it, this is not really a spoiler for the last episode. I think this is just as is. Her point of view is more of they need to be held responsible for their actions. For her, that's through the legal system. Take that as you will. But that is the concept here, is they did objectionable harm. You don't get to just get away with that because you're a bunch of trolls. You need to be held responsible for actual harm you have done and not just wave it off of it was just a joke. That's kind of how I take it. So that's for me what I think the key part is. I can see that. I can see the idea of like, should we just kind of make it sound like they don't actually hold power? I say it's too late for that. People who are in actual power positions have given them too much of a voice to say that they're meaningless. And I think to just say that they're just a bunch of trolls, personally, I think that really diminishes how much hurt they've done. So that's my opinion on it as, I guess, the woman of the group.
That's fair. I didn't see it coming. Well, sort of. I saw it coming a little bit because they did mention that the website is like for man babies and shit.
Yes.
And it's pretty obvious. It's very trolly and very alt-right-y, very incel-y.
Yep.
Yeah, I wasn't really expecting it to go like full-blown that direction.
Yeah.
That one really surprised me in episode 8. It felt very creepy in that sense.
It's extremely creepy. I mean, their presence, I think, to me, I kind of sensed it throughout. I guess, again, I just kind of had to have a sense for these things, unfortunately. So I actually wasn't that surprised when they made them kind of the big bad, because there really hadn't been a true big bad yet, but there was always this undercurrent of this theme of when when a woman gets angry, it's public. Like, it's a big to-do kind of thing. And so I was like, all right, they're really talking about this intelligentsia thing, and they're kind of talking about in the background. They're kind of doing some weird stuff. And, when that one guy that she's dating, we were all like, oh, he seems really sweet. This cannot last. Like, this can't be real. It's too cheesy. Yeah, when it's revealed like what he had done, like we call my wife and I called it. We're like, oh, he definitely is just part of that group. We're like, we hope he's not because he seems really nice, but there's just no way that this goes perfectly.
That
this
therapy
no
group
guy.
episode, that one was cute.
That one was so funny. As a therapist, I was laughing my ass off. Group therapy is really hard to do successfully, but I did appreciate the fact that this episode they used a bunch of buzzwords, but that a lot of the things they were trying to do were very real though too. Emil did the things you're supposed to do as a group therapist. Everybody else was just freaking insane. So yeah, that was great. That was a great episode.
But I haven't really been on like Twitter and shit that much for the past few months. So honestly, I haven't been on Twitter much in this like year. So I'm not sure what the talk is around She-Hulk.
I'm actually not sure. I'm on Twitter a lot, but I think I've curated. This sounds so weird, but I think I've curated my feed to like not show a lot of that unless it's somebody else complaining about them.
Yeah, usually
So
I see other people complaining about the assholes. That's how I find out.
And I actually haven't seen many complaints. I have a friend of mine who he's a white cis male who's an ally basically who understands this stuff, and so sometimes I hear from him because he does see the stuff. Because I think he kind of has an in that area, so he sometimes still sees it and points it out. Take that as you will. But he has mentioned that there has been some blowback. It doesn't sound like it's been enough to really do that much damage, thankfully. But there's some man babies online apparently.
I just want to see if like there's
especially.
any incel groups talking about it.
I know. I have no idea.
Watching?
Right? Are they watching this show? I don't know.
A lot of times they don't really have to watch it to hear what's happening in the episode, I guess. Yeah. And
I will slightly spoil because we do get to meet like the actual people in this intelligentsia, and it is incel-y. It's also very much blatantly making fun of comic book bros. That it's very, like, literally some of the lines they have them say was shit that people were commenting when She-Hulk was first announced. Why is there a She-Hulk? There's not a He-Hulk. Literally one of the lines in the show. And that was definitely something.
I mean, it's a good point. She should have... I don't care for her name.
Well, they're not making that kind of a point is the problem.
Oh.
No. They're not saying that as trying to be supportive at all. They're saying it as why they have to make a female version, of the superhero kind of thing.
I see.
They're not being ingenuous. They're being disingenuous is what I'm trying to say. But yeah. Anyway.
So yeah.
I
haven't watched Andor. I know there's like 6 episodes, right? Is anybody
watching
watching
Andor?
Oh, okay.
I haven't. We need
This
to. We
week
just
was
haven't.
episode 6. Yeah.
We're probably gonna binge it at some point.
You
we
been
just
watching?
haven't yet.
You been watching for?
Yeah. I've been watching it. I basically haven't watched any of the new stuff this week because I started watching a new show and I watched that instead. But I'm
fair enough.
I'll catch up. I'll catch up this weekend.
What you
You're
been watching?
farther than me.
What's the new one?
Los Espookies. It's a Spanish show about a group of people who get hired to fix people's problems with their very good like haunted house special effects. Like the episode 1, this like Catholic priest comes to them. He's like, I'm not the popular father anymore. Can you guys help me put on a really cool exorcism to be the popular one again? So they help him out. It's like, that's episode 1. And episode 2 is like this rich lady, like, I need to like get rid of my inheritance, and I need 5 people to stay in a mansion and get scared, and the one who stays, wins the pot or whatever. So I'm only like 3 episodes in, but it's very funny, and there's like this. One of the characters is clearly supernatural because like he talks to he can look in mirrors and like see things, and like he always like, hey, remember that time when that like that thunderstorm where I just showed up on your doorstep, and like yeah whatever, like no one's talking about it. So I think it's gonna pay off in an interesting way. It's a bunch of like SNL like writers, and like it's produced by Lorne Michaels.
So is it spoken in like Spanish or a mix of Spanish and English?
It's all Spanish with English subtitles.
Oh, okay.
Although a good chunk of it, less than half, but like there are a lot of scenes that take place in LA, so those are actually English with Spanish subtitles.
Oh, okay. Huh. I don't know how you find these shows.
It's kind of blowing up like in like the like comedy world, I guess, because like the writing's just and the character acting's really funny.
Okay.
It's kind of weird. There's definitely jokes I'm not getting though, because like there's one moment where like, hey character, why do you talk so funny? She's like, oh, I lived in Minnesota for a while to learn English, but I didn't learn English. And it's like, does she talk funny? Like, I don't know. She's speaking Spanish. Like, I don't know what Spanish accents are. They all sound the same to me because I don't have the ear for it. So there's probably like some like, you know, weird quirky jokes that I'm just not picking up on.
Fair enough.
But it's still good.
Which I guess means they are quite authentic, I guess, trying to make it for a Spanish audience. So
Yes, two of the main characters are also the writers, creators, and they're Spanish. I mean, it's all Spanish like actors and stuff too, so I don't know. It's like I hear in like Terminator films, Arnold's character's dubbed by somebody else because I guess his Austrian accent is the German equivalent of a Southern accent, and so it sounds too goofy to have a Terminator sound like, "Hey guys, let's go!" You know, just like a hillbilly kind of thing.
Yeah.
I would watch a film with like a Southern.
That would be pretty funny. Yeah. So those are spooky is good.
Is Andor good?
I'm liking the rest of Andor.
Okay.
Its first 5 episodes have been great. There's no Jedi. It's awesome.
Where is it in the?
It is 5 years before the events of Rogue One.
Yeah,
Before
it
Rogue
stars
One.
the
Okay,
guy.
okay.
Before
Yeah, 'cause
Rogue One.
Because it stars the
following-
guy.
Oh,
Yeah,
right?
Andor's
Oh.
in Rogue One. He's not the main guy, but he's... 'cause
They
it's
all
a
die in
female
Rogue One,
character.
right?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh, spoilers,
So
I
this
guess,
is-
for whatever.
I know. Whatever, man.
Like,
Movie's been out for
if
a
you love
while.
Star
So,
Wars,
like,
you would have watched it already.
None
Yeah,
of
yeah.
the like main characters from Rogue One have shown up yet, but there have been several of the like important like characters have showed up, or at least been name dropped. Like Saw Gerrera's name's been dropped. I think he might
Okay.
show up.
Oh.
And one of the other older white guy politician type guys. I don't remember his
Yeah.
name.
Yeah, because one of the, I believe the one lady that they have been using in some more of the kind of recent films to, like, she's not, she's kind of almost in some ways replaced Leia's role in a way.
Mon
to-
Mothma.
Yes. I think she's got an important part in this film, too. She's kind of finally taken a bit more of a
Are
center
you talking
stage.
about the really big lady from Game of Thrones?
No.
Okay. Who
No,
am I
she
thinking? Who?
plays a stormtrooper.
Yeah.
She's a lady with she's middle aged with short hair. She's tall and lanky, but she's not
Yeah.
like
She shows up. The
yeah,
character
I
shows up
mixed
in the
it up.
original trilogy, but
yes.
I mixed it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, good. But yeah, I know she's kind of taken more of a part, which is cool. Yeah,
it's cool. Yeah.
Genuinely, we just haven't sat down and we kind of forgot when it came out, and then there's just been a few episodes. So now that She-Hulk has ended, we'll probably try to get that through.
It's a spy thriller, so it's kind of slower paced compared to most other things right now, which I kind of like.
That's nice. Yeah, I think we'll like it a lot. We tend
liking it a
to
lot.
like their the only Star Wars TV show they've put out. I guess 2. One we did finish at least, Boba Fett, but we weren't really that impressed with it. The one that we just plumb stopped was the animated one. We just couldn't get through that
Oh, I thought
one.
you liked it.
We did at first, but I don't know. We never.
No, I'm with
we-
you.
we
I've
st-
tried to watch it twice and just stopped both times.
Yeah.
The target audience is just too young for me. Like I'm just like, I
Yep.
get it. You're doing a thing. It's not me. Whatever.
It's not for me. Yeah, we thought we might be. At first, we were like, okay, but then, to be honest, a lot of the times, like I kind of just go along for the ride. I don't really care what we put on TV. I'm not super passionate about it, and so it really. But like the other, my wife and my brother were just kind of like, ugh. So they just never
So-
put it back on.
I'm not sure if you've heard of this or been following, but I randomly just found out about this. There's this separate project studio, whatever, Marvel Studios special presentations, which are like,
Are you talking about Werewolf by Night?
yeah, So they do like I guess
Yeah.
one shots, but they are part of the MCU.
Yeah.
They made the Werewolf by Night, which is now available for streaming, and
I recommend it.
they're gonna make a Guardians of the Galaxy's holiday special or something.
Interesting.
So yeah, this Werewolf by Night. Did anybody watch it?
I watched it. Yeah, it's an hour long. It's a nice, easy watch.
It's an hour long,
just,
so more like
in
a
and out, quick adventure.
quick TV movie-ish kind of thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's fun. It follows the werewolf character and another Marvel character you'll definitely recognize that I'm not going to spoil.
Oh,
And
interesting.
Are you talking about like that female hunter type?
she is. That's not who I'm talking about. There's
Okay.
one who you'll be surprised by.
Ooh.
Her. She's you recognize her as well, I guess. Not and all the actors are new as far as I know, but the characters you'll recognize. It makes me want more of these characters. Like it's a little
Like
hard.
one-offs, right? Yeah, no.
Yeah, it's a little hard to get invested, right? Because like you just met this person like 20 minutes ago. It's like, are they the good guy even? I don't even really know what's going on. Like it's not like a perfect gem of a thing, but it was a fun thing, and I liked it a lot, and I hope they do more like it.
Yeah, I guess that's like the biggest thing I hope for from the TVs, the Disney Plus stuff, like just all these like side characters that nobody knows.
Yeah.
Or most people.
So is this on Disney Plus? Is that where
Yeah.
you find this?
Yeah.
It's it starts with the Marvel like logo with all the comic books, you know, like
Yeah, yeah.
It's the same logo, but it's black and white with a different music because it's like ooh spooky horror.
That's cool.
And I like that too. Like they can experiment with like different styles. Because I've heard that it's
Yeah.
more like a horror-ish kind of.
I'd love it to cross over with Moon Knight because like OG Moon Knight gets his powers from fighting a werewolf
All right.
and he gets bit a little bit, but not a lot. Not enough to become a werewolf. I don't know. It's
Not
stupid.
deep enough, I guess.
He was half
he
bitten,
gets,
I
he gets
guess.
scratched. I don't know.
I haven't been watching up. I've been playing Dragon Quest Builders 2 still, just building shit. I'm at the end game. I finished all the quests and everything, so I'm just building stuff. Very ambitious stuff, which I'm kind of regretting a little bit. But I'm just trying to basically like there are different biomes, right? Which you can terraform to whatever you like. But I like what the biomes are set by the game. So like there's one forest biome where the farms are at. So I kind of want to build a tree village. So a village on
Tree villages are tight.
yeah. So I gotta build the freaking trees myself. So
Oh, that's
yeah,
hilarious.
so that's like yeah. So it's just like making trees are not easy. Like I keep looking at pictures of because the games have these trees, and I just keep looking at them because they look as natural as you can look when it's all blocky.
Sure.
I'm just trying to go for that like very random, non-uniform. So I'm just trying to understand how to do that. But yeah, been watching She-Hulk. Gonna watch the last episode soon-ish. That's pretty much it. I also started yesterday Bravely Default 2.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot the second one. It came out actually.
Yeah, it was quite forgotten for some reason because Bravely Default 1 was quite heralded.
Yeah.
It was very big in the news.
Yes. Yeah, I feel like 2 was kind of there, and then
Yeah, not sure what.
I don't
what
think it was
happened.
a bad game. I
I
never
don't
played
think so.
any of them, but my wife did.
Did
and
people
she
not
enjoyed
love 2 after the initial good impression? Did it kind of sour or no? People loved it and they period.
Not sure. Like I didn't even see any like negative or positive. Like haven't seen anything about it.
No, I don't think so. My wife said it was fine. I do feel that some of like what made the first one kind of was, I don't know if it was quite lived up with 2, but it was still good. No, it just kind of fell off the face of the planet.
Yeah.
The only thing I'm wondering, because sometimes this has an impact, I think it came out the same time as something else,
Maybe.
and I
also,
think that may have affected it.
What like okay, so like what really is the cool thing about Bravely Default is the like combat system and the job system. The combat system with the Brave and the default system, and the job system being able to just like customize it. You can get a main job, you can get a sub job, you can just change on the fly. I love those. So that is in 2, because like that's the whole thing about the Bravely series. But Bravely Default 1, the story had a bit of complaint where they did the whole, what was it they did? Like a time travel thing, and then you just kept repeating like the second half of the game like 4 times or some shit. Yeah, I played it. And you actually do that. Like, you repeat the second half of the game like 4 times because of time travel shenanigans. Something like that.
Yep.
Interesting.
Yep.
Bravely Second came out, which is not really a sequel. I think it's like a side story. That's a 3DS game. And then Bravely Default 2 for the Switch. But, and also PC. I'm not sure if it's on PC. But the thing that Bravely Default had that the others don't was Bravely Default, I believe, was like, it really reinvigorated that old school JRPG. Yeah, turn-based JRPG.
Yep.
Previously, they've had that. Like, they've had a couple of JRPGs like that for the DS. I think one is called For Warriors of the Light or something. But like Bravely
Sounds
Default was pretty
familiar.
not mainstream, but like, it sold a lot, so it got way more hype and press.
Yep.
And I think they
And
started
they-
making more of those kind of games like Octopath Traveler, and that, not exactly the same, but
Yeah,
it's more.
I see that.
But Octopath Traveler is closer to Bravely than it is to Final Fantasy 15. So,
Right.
so maybe people are just like, so this is the thing, like, people like, oh my god, we finally are getting the old school thing, and then they keep making old school stuff. Are you asking for a change now? I don't know.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, that
It's
is
like
a
that-
good point.
It's
You-
like that
you are
Pokemon
right.
paradox. Just-
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. No, you do have a point there, because when Bravely Default came out, it was heralded as this like return to JRPGs with quality of life changes. Like, if I recall correctly, in Bravely Default, I never played it. Like I said, I just
so
knew a
good.
lot of people who did. But like, because you had to replay so many parts of the game again. They had like auto win mechanics
you have
for fight for like.
you have auto battle, so it just does
Yeah.
like the previous commands from the previous battles. You can also 4 times the speed or something like that.
Yeah,
So-
they had a bunch of like quality of life changes built into the game.
Yeah.
For like the annoying JRPG element parts.
Also,
and
no,
so, yeah,
technically no random, because you can see the monsters on the
Right.
map, kind of thing.
right. That's right. So that was supposed to be like a big deal, in a way too. And so you're right. I think that did kind of herald a coming back to some of those things, and so there were plenty of other games, Octopath Traveler definitely being one, and I think several others. So by the time Bravely Default 2 actually came out, because Bravely Second, again, like you said, it was not a sequel, and it was not as popular at all. So then they made a actual sequel, and it was unique, but for a lot of people, that was kind of old hat, I think, at that point. Wasn't unique enough for the time.
It's actually on PC, and it's currently 50% off.
Nice.
So cool.
Just the second one.
Just a second. Let me see. Not super sure. Maybe. Yeah, just a second one. But honestly, the main thing is the gameplay, I would say. The story is very simple, very like, oh, let's get the crystals of power kind of thing. Very old school JRPG, so
Sure.
but it has like full voice acting, 90% full, 90% voice acting, and amazing gameplay, really good quality of life changes. Yeah, honestly, it's really really good. Like the Bravely series, is really good. The job system too is really fun, and
That's the kind of game that makes me want to get a Steam Deck, because I like JRPGs
yeah.
on handheld
Yeah.
systems.
That's fair. That's fair.
yeah, I bought Bravely Default 2 for my Switch, so yeah, I can. And also they have the one-handed controls, which I love.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's cool.
They had it for the 3DS too, so that's I love that. I love that. And ever since I played Bravely Default 1 like one-handed, I just like, yeah, this JRPG I can play it one-handed. You should do that. That's just fun. Yeah, that's pretty much it from my end. Oh, who's watching Lord of the Rings?
We are
I'm
not.
not yet.
okay.
We
I
might.
haven't finished Sandman yet. And for some reason, I have to watch them one after the other.
Because I really want to know if y'all recommend it to me. Because
Yeah,
I feel
that's
like
fair.
most of your recommendations to me is like pretty spot on. So
I have
we've been
one group of
watching
friends
House
who are
of
watching
Dragons,
it,
so-
and they're liking it, but it's like a 50-50 shot. I'll like it if they like it.
okay.
So I can't recommend it to you yet.
I couldn't tell you. We haven't watched it yet. We've been focusing on House of Dragons first, but that is going to end this month, so we might give it a shot. We've been saving that one kind of for last because it was the one that when we kind of heard about it, we were the least excited for. I am not a huge Lord of the Rings person, and I would say my wife and my brother are, but like not. I know some extreme Lord of the Rings people, and they are not it. So we'll see. I've been hearing some things about it that I'm just not sure if it's just, gonna be. I know it's not meant to maybe be an exciting show. I just don't know if I'll enjoy it, but we'll see. We shall see.
So like, I'm trying to think, and I can't remember the last high fantasy super serious whatever that I enjoyed. Like I really can't. And that's what it is, right?
Yeah.
Did you watch The Witcher?
Oh, I did.
Yes.
But I do have like more of an attachment to The Witcher. And I didn't really enjoy season 2. So
Sure.
A lot of people didn't. That's fair.
yeah. So
Like from like just Reddit like like mentions, I feel like people are as negative towards the Legend of Rings of Power as they are towards like She-Hulk. So I don't know how to interpret that.
Yeah, I don't know. I've just been hearing a lot of back and forth. Some people are saying like it's amazing, and follows like, a lot of the feelings behind the books. Others are saying it's really boring. I have no idea. Like some people, it's hard to
Yeah.
take seriously because they're like black elves, and I'm like, who cares? But I don't know. So it's hard to say. Although people are also mad at House of Dragons because they made the Valyrians black as well. So whatever. It's ridiculous. But I don't know. I'd have to. We might put it on, but we've been holding it off. So we'll see.
Yeah, I'll watch it eventually, but I probably won't get around to it in 2022.
So one thing that I'm kind of interested to watch, which is not really something I would usually watch, is a Transformers cartoon series, but made for kids. It's more of a kiddie.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
And the reason is because the creators have come out and said that it's like very sequely to the original cartoons, which I'm like, that's interesting. I wonder how they're gonna do that. And Megatron is a good guy.
Huh.
Oh, cool. There's like a prequel.
Could be a sequel.
I
Because
guess I assumed he was dead. I don't know.
so like in the IDW comics, Megatron actually became a good guy. Like after he stopped being the leader of Decepticons. I mean, it's way more serious. Like obviously, it's just but like in this one, it's a kiddie thing, and he has the same logo as Optimus Prime, which is a little bit different from the Autobots and the Decepticons. And the Decepticons is now led by Soundwave, I think. And then they showed like a small snippet of Soundwave fighting Megatron, and Soundwave calling Megatron a traitor. So, I mean, that seems like a lot of drama for a very kiddie show. And I'm not saying kids show don't have good drama sometimes, but Transformers usually is very when they go for kids shows, they really like, oh my god, kids are super dumb, let's make it like really. That's what Transformers cartoon series for kids usually are. They haven't really made a good show in a while, honestly. Yeah, the ones that was online on YouTube by is it Machinima? Rooster. Wait, I think the online was by Machinima, and the recent Netflix one was by Rooster Teeth. They all suck. Like I hate them all. So I just like the toys. But yeah,
I did see they just released the 4th of 6 components for Raiden, the train mega combiner.
yeah. The third party
It's
one
like $1,000 if you want all 6.
it's $1,000 if you want all 6.
Because
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Slightly less than, they're like 150 each or something like that.
Yeah, closer to 200, I think.
I think so.
Yeah. And there's 6 of them, like you said. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's one of my.
So
It's
cool.
a really cool command. No, it's trains.
I love trains.
Yeah, and you can like open the doors. So you can put people in them and shit. Oh my god, it's so cute.
Aww.
Yeah, it's really. But the annoying. So because so it's a master. You started it. It's a masterpiece. So when it comes to masterpiece, which is like the premium, expensive for big kids like me, not for little kids. It's not for kids. Even the
Right.
price, like who's gonna buy a $200? Probably a lot of people will do that, but so Takara, the Japanese side of like the Transformers, they make all these masterpiece ones, and they also make train models. So you think it's a match made in heaven, right? But obviously, it's very hard to make a transforming robot into like a very accurate vehicle. So you gotta like compromise and sacrifice sometimes one mode. So they decided to go with really accurate train modes. The robots are still pretty nice, but the problem is they also wanted to go with a specific scale with the trains. I believe it's called HO scale, but it's also not super accurate to the scale. At least one of the reviewers that I follow who also love these outside of Transformers, he also loves like specific scales of vehicles like trains and cars and all
So
that.
the trains aren't to scale. You're saying like
Not
one of the
completely.
trains.
They're close,
Got
but
it,
just not that. But because you know, as you go small, like the smallest difference will make, right?
Yep.
So yeah, that's that. And a lot of people are complaining about how the robots are quite small, especially for Masterpiece. At that price, it's insane. The price is insane, and it's not very big. So yeah, but it looks cool. If you really are not happy with that one, there's also a third-party one which is much bigger and cheaper. You can get
weird.
that for like $500 for all 6 of them. $500 to $600 for all 6. Yeah, they're much bigger.
Really, I should just find some good model trains because
yeah.
I kind of don't like the way the Transformers look as much as I like the. Oh, I don't hate it, but I like the trains so much more. Like I'd almost leave them as trains the whole time.
Yeah. So I guess this is one of those things where if you're not super into model trains but kind of want to try, but you love Transformers, I guess it's like a 2-in-1 package kind of deal. I guess I don't know, but yeah, I love that one because he's a Japanese character and he was in the Japanese Transformers that I watched growing up. So I love him. This is so cool. Love them. Is it a him or a them when they combine? Whatever. I mean,
I
the
think
fact that they even
seem
have
to
gender.
have their. I mean, yeah. Gender aside, I don't think they are a plural entity. I think they are a singular entity when they combine.
Sarah would like this one. So, like, about a year and a half ago, almost 2 years, they created a masterpiece version of one of the very few female robots. RC, she's one of my favorite characters. She's really popular. I love her. I have like 3 versions of her. The masterpiece version, which I love, which is great, not perfect. Her boobs, because of course you have to have boobs
A
because
robot needs
Obviously.
memories.
yeah, obviously,
Obviously.
was too low on her chest to a lot of people. So for me, it's whatever because she's a robot.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
she shouldn't really have. It's just weird that she had boobs. I would admit
No, she's
it's
not
quite low
hot anymore.
It's quite low, but a lot of people are complaining. Why is the boob so low?
Oh my gosh. Listen,
Yeah.
listen. When you get old enough, they start to sag, all right?
And
I wish I had problems such that could be a problem for me.
and
I wish my life was so devoid of any conflict that was the worst thing to my day.
Kinda.
more toy boob stories. So toy boob story number 2. This is more
boy.
recent. So
Okay.
so Hasbro has this thing called HasLab. And HasLab is more basically the Kickstarter for Hasbro. They put out specific different toys from different lines that they think might not work in mass retail. So you pledge, you get tiers, you get unlocked tiers, bonuses, blah blah blah. If it reaches the minimum, you get the toy. So things like the Sentinel, really big toy, Galactus, really big one. The recent G.I. Joe, his tank was on there. Star Wars also had the Mandalorian's Razor Crest. Yeah.
Razor
Oh,
Crest.
the ship.
Yeah.
The ship. Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
big because it's meant to fit the one shelf scale. Because a lot of vehicles that go into mass retail fits the 375-inch toys, which is much smaller. So
Got it.
really big stuff putting on the shelf of Walmart doesn't really make sense in the sense of like shelf space and stuff like that, I guess.
Right.
But yeah, so
Fair
the
enough.
recent HasLab is Marvel Legends for Ghost Rider. But the Ghost Rider is the one, not Johnny Blaze, not him, not the bike, not Nicolas Cage.
Got it.
It's the
It's the Hispanic one.
Hispanic. I
Hispanic?
think he's from Mexico.
Okay, yeah, okay. And he drives a muscle car.
Okay.
It's pretty cool.
It is pretty cool, but it's really expensive for what you get, and it's not.
Yes.
It's probably not gonna pass because it's Hasbro just being really greedy. Like it's $350 for just a toy and a car in the base tier, when the base tier of previous ones you get a giant fucking Galactus and Sentinel and shit.
Right. Yeah.
So it's like, but a couple of the tier unlocks are other figures. So you have Mephisto, and the next one is the second tier is Goblin Queen, like some kind of X-Men character that I've never heard of.
I've never
Oh,
heard of him.
okay.
She has her
Goblin mode.
she wears like a those like
Are her boobs low?
no. So she wears
Okay,
like
good.
like a very tight bikini type thing. Not bikini, like
Of
a
course.
one
Yes.
kini.
Okay. I'm seeing I'm seeing a
unitard.
picture now. Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Oh God. Yeah, I see it.
But
Yep. No
the
explanation
toy-
needed.
Does not reveal the under boob, and that's getting
Oh, I
complaints.
see.
So yeah.
Yes, I see it. Oh my gosh, these mofo's.
So
yeah,
I
I
believe
see
the
what
Boobs
you're
aren't
comic-
talking
low
about.
enough.
I believe the comic, like she has under boobs or something, and the toy was
Yeah. So what? Here's what they did, because I just looked up on Google and
It's like
I'm
a
seeing a picture
Vampirella
of the
thing.
toy versus her thing. So yeah, the original costume. God, I hate these costumes. Was
Yeah,
like
yeah.
very like it's all like here and then it just kind of goes over to basically her tips, because then it shows under boob and then here. But what they did instead is they just made it look normal boobalicious, which means they covered everything on the bottom and then just made an open, cleavage on top. But people really like their under boob, I guess.
yeah they
It's so str-
yep they were all going for why is it not comic accurate.
Oh my God, stop. They're ridiculous.
Because I
Apparently,
guess,
and I'm just seeing several pictures. She has plenty of pictures in comics where she wears not the underboob thing. So I think they
Yeah.
need to get a life.
yeah,
Oh God.
this would be a pretty good cool segment, I think, for the playonultra podcast, like toy boob complaints.
How many are there? Oh,
not
200's worth? All right, let's get going.
That's its own podcast, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So the S came out with a figure for Judge Anderson from Judge Dredd. Haven't read any complaints about her yet, though.
Does it
We'll
have
see.
boobs?
It's coming
She technically has boobs.
She technically has boobs. Okay.
by the technical
I don't think she's
definition.
known to be particularly booby.
I'm more surprised that the boys aren't mad that, unless this isn't the right toy of her that I'm seeing, and it may not be, but the toy picture I'm seeing, she wears pants. And in a lot of these pictures, she ain't wearing pants.
Are we talking about Judge Anderson?
No.
Oh,
No,
Goblin Queen,
sorry,
okay.
talk about the
Goblin
Goblin
Queen.
King.
Alright.
Queen. Sorry, I'm still caught up on this. I should go back.
Judge Anderson is the one in the latest movie from 2014.
She's in all the Judge Dredds. She's like his blonde,
oh.
like telepathic friend.
Right. I really love that movie. God, it was so gory and violent. And I don't know. It was just really good. Shit. Why is that no more Judge Dredd movies?
I know. Keith Urban was wanting a sequel for a while. I don't think it was very financially successful. It's kind of
Seriously?
a super indie cult classic. Yeah.
Wasn't it made by Eddie Shankar? I believe so.
Maybe.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
believe so.
that sounds right.
Yeah.
Before I forget, the only comic book I've read that has the Ghost Rider with the muscle car in it is a Hulk comic, and the Avengers just fight him at one point, and so it's just great to see just like
Avengers
like,
fighting
bring
who?
it on. The Hulk is fighting the Avengers.
Oh, right. Of course. That's what he
And
does.
at this point in time, this Ghost Rider is part of the Avengers. And just seeing a muscle car just like slam into the Hulk was really funny. Just like hit him with a car, but it's also like, that's not gonna work. You know what he throws, right? The number one thing he throws is cars. Like, yeah.
Yep. And he can rip cars in two and make like knuckle gloves. So yeah, that's his thing.
You're right. I don't know that scene. I feel like the car is weaker than his fist. Like getting hit by the car is weirdly going to be
it makes
softer
no
than
sense.
getting hit by the Hulk's fist.
Yeah, it makes no sense. But also, but in terms of
was
like,
fun.
I don't know, overall, I know character power levels go up and down depending on whatever, right? But more or less, Ghost Rider is on par with the Hulk, right? Ghost Rider is really powerful, isn't he supposed to be?
He definitely has that like spirit of vengeance kind of thing, where, like your sins can burn you or whatever. So there's some like level of magic there that's probably super duper strong that I don't really know. I'm not that well read in what his dealio is.
Yeah. But yeah,
He seems like a cross between like Venom and like Swamp Thing. I don't know.
But so basically, this whole HasLab with the Ghost Rider thing has made a lot of content creators got a lot of views and shit because a lot of people are hating on it, which I understand. I'm hating on it too. But every fucking day is a new video about this freaking HasLab thing,
that's
man.
funny.
Like, it's one of those, like, people are really...
There's not new news, but there's fresh outrage.
Exactly. That's pretty much it. That is 100% accurate.
It's no new news, just fresh outrage. I like that phrase a lot.
When it comes to these kind of like dramas, whatever fandom, right? There are the people who create things to complain about those things. I'm very annoyed at those because it's just really low quality content, honestly. And you're kind of just rephrasing the shit if you said in previous videos anyways.
Yes.
But I'm also annoyed at the people creating complaint videos about the complainers because that also I feel is low quality content and you're kind of just rephrasing the same shit. It's just it's just a machine that feeds into each other.
I'm interested in consuming.
Yeah, it's just and it's annoying because a couple of the toy reviews I follow is doing this kind of videos. It's just and it's just on my feed and I know I don't have to click it. Obviously, and I don't.
Yeah.
But I know, but still, it's.
But it's just like
it's annoying.
I feel like you're better than this kind of thing. Like,
yeah.
But I also get the whole this is the hot topic and you will get views and shit.
Sure.
So,
but at this point, it's not even hot. I mean, literally, I guess it is hot if it gets clicks, but like it shouldn't be hot anymore. Like it should have been hot like maybe the week when it was announced.
yeah. There's always a new video whenever they announce new tiers.
Oh, I see.
And then they talk about that one singular toy that you don't know anything about. There's only 3D renders of. You don't have it on hand. Whatever. You literally can't say anything about it. I mean, from the pictures you can sort of say like, oh, this is a part from this other toy. This is a part from this other toy. But like,
I have a very mild conspiracy theory that just had occurred to me today. I was browsing something and they had a statue of Kamina, the character from the anime Gurren Lagann. And it was out of stock, and so I was like, put an alert on it. If it gets back in stock, email me. The next day, I got an email saying it was back in stock, and when I clicked, it said there was one in stock. So I'm like, are these people just like keeping like a back stock and then like making me feel like FOMO? Like, it's in stock, buy it! You gotta buy it because it's in stock, there's only one left! And it seems very coincidentally artificial to me.
So strange.
I'm pretty
I
sure...
did buy it, but it's not the point.
So it worked.
So it worked.
Is what you're saying.
I mean, I would have
pretty
bought it
sure,
if there was more than one in stock.
I'm pretty sure
I put an alert
that
for a reason.
a lot of the Malaysian toy stores do that too. Like I'm on like certain stores, like we have those like Amazon-ish type stores and a lot of toy stores out there, local toy stores, and I see and they show you the stock. So I see one in stock left, 2 in stock left. And sometimes I go and see like, oh, it's sold out, and then a couple of days later, oh, it's back on. Like, it's just, yeah.
I mean,
it
it's
works,
probably
I guess.
realistic, not that big a conspiracy because was it the same? Maybe it was a different site, but there's definitely something I've bought online, and then they're like, oh, actually, it's not in stock yet, and so like every month I get an email saying the status is like waiting to be back in stock, and like eventually I'll cancel it, but I'm just kind of curious how long this will keep happening before you cancel it. It was like an $8 model of like a ship from the anime space battleship Yamato.
No, yeah, I'm not familiar with that one.
Yeah, it's an anime about like what if instead of building a spaceship to fight aliens, we dredged up a sunken World War II battleship and turned it into a spaceship to fight aliens. Which is clearly a superior strategy.
Honestly, not a bad premise.
Yeah.
Speaking of,
yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say, speaking of big ships, I have not seen it yet, but apparently the new Gundam series is a little gay, so I will probably be watching it. Yeah.
Interesting.
Witch of Mercury, I think it's called. It's
What was it called?
New Gundam. Witch of Mercury?
Witch?
Yes,
Like
like
as in
WITCH. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, of Mercury, like the planet. Yeah. I genuinely don't know anything about it. I know the leading role is a woman, and I
Robot.
guess she's...
Okay.
Yeah, that's a robot, yeah.
There's a robot, okay.
besides the robot. But I guess...
Low boobs.
But I guess it's very... The guy, I guess, behind this one, from rumor has it, I haven't really clarified this myself, but rumor has it the guy that's behind this series is the guy who made Revolutionary Girl Utena in the original Sailor Moon series, anime series, not the manga, which, if you are not aware, he loves his Yuri a lot. So, we shall see. But yeah, apparently that's a thing. So I don't know when I'll be watching it, but it's ongoing right now. I think they only have like a couple episodes out. So apparently, besides that, it's also very good. Literally some guy friends that I know that are into Gundam were like, it's really good. Also, it's gay. I went, all right, I'm in. So we'll see.
I've been meaning to watch
report
a Gundam, like Gundam 00. Like, there's so many Gundams. I'm not going to watch
so
all of them, but
many.
I feel like I should
watched them
watch
as
a Gundam.
I watched one as a kid. I think the problem is I watched like the one that everybody says is the worst one, but it's the only one I knew. All I know is it has to do with all of the Gundams are based of cards. Like the King of Hearts was the main one. That's all I know. And he also had this thing where he got really, really mad and turned to the red version. But if he calmed his anger with righteous fury, he became the gold version of himself. That's the only one I know, and everybody
This is
says that's
sillier
the.
than I thought Gundam
Yeah,
was.
everyone's. I think it is, because when I explain this one to people, they go, "Oh, that Gundam, that one sucks," and I go, "Oh, well, it's the only one I know." So I couldn't tell you.
But they're all set in the same, like, are they all, like, in the same canon? Like, Transformers?
I don't think so. I
Okay.
think they're all different, but don't quote me on that.
That makes sense, because there's so many. I don't know how you could be consistent across all of them.
Yeah. No, I think it's more akin to, like, Final Fantasy, if that makes sense. Like, similar
themes,
elements. Yeah, but not the same universe.
There might be one or two. I don't know. I don't follow Gundam at all. And apparently this is the first mainline series from 7 years. Like the last one was 7 years ago.
Yeah.
And it's the
I believe
first
it.
one with a female protag. Isn't
Yep.
Gundam like 30-something years old?
Oh,
Something
yeah.
like
Well, I
that.
mean, it was always a shonen, so it was always male
Okay,
protagonists.
okay.
Yeah. They always had they always had the chick. Like, there was always a female character
Sure.
with the, in a weird will they, won't they with the male protagonist. But yeah, no, there's never been a female protagonist. I'm not saying, like, they're off the hook. I'm just saying it's a shonen anime and always has been, so I'm not surprised. But yeah, so I will report back.
Yeah, I haven't watched an anime.
I finally
long time.
saw the most recent Thor film.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
I've
did
been
you?
meaning to
Love
watch
and
that
Thunder?
one.
Yeah.
How is it?
It was. I had higher expectations for it.
Oh.
Is there any underboob? No. Side boob?
There's no underboob. I don't know. It was okay. I thought it was a little boring. I really liked. I'm not gonna tell you who he is, but Russell Crowe shows up, and that's the best part of the whole film.
Oh.
He is pretty great.
It's not bad. I don't know. It's just I don't know. It was. Well, I think I wanted it to be on the level of the previous Thor, and it wasn't quite as funny.
It was not quite as funny. No, I still enjoyed it, but it was not quite as funny. It was definitely a little. It was kind of a lesser Thor. Not as bad as Thor 2, but
Thor 2 is
just
really
not as
bad, isn't it? That's like on the
I'm
lowest
sorry?
tier.
Barely
Oh yeah,
remember it.
Thor 2 I think is my least favorite Marvel movie at this point.
I think Iron
Maybe
Man 3 is also, I kind of put them together. Like, I don't know, Iron Man 3 I wasn't really into it.
3
Too.
is
It's
pretty
so hard.
boring.
For me,
Okay.
Iron Man 2, and I used to hate Iron Man 2 and I liked 3, but since upon rewatching, I have gained a better appreciation for 2 and kind of about 3, so I
like
couldn't
2.
tell you.
I like 2. 2 is the guy with the whip,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know I didn't like 2 when it came out,
Also, War
but
Machine.
Also War
Yeah.
Machine.
Yeah.
Um,
But yeah, it's definitely down there with those ones for sure. But Love and Thunder, I would say, is not as bad as that. It's
That's
just a
fair.
lesser tier.
But that's the thing
It's
with
a
like
le-
Marvel
yeah.
movies, like the past couple of years. There's like that minimum base that doesn't really go, but there's still like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd put it probably, and this might be an endorsement for some people, I think I'd put it on about the same level as the second Guardians of the Galaxy.
That's fair. That's fair.
Mm.
I didn't hate Guardians of the Galaxy 2. I think that's a fair assessment. Not as like impressive, but
Does Mario show up in this Love and Thunder?
Yes.
Okay. Did y'all watch the trailer of Mario?
I didn't watch the trailer.
Go
I
and fucking
can't.
watch this. Watch the fucking trailer.
I watched it. It was he doesn't have a bubble butt. What are we gonna do?
What are we gonna do?
And he sounds
What
like
are we
Chris
gonna
no
do?
Pratt.
under boob, no bubble butt.
He just I know.
He just sounds like
I
Chris
think
Pratt.
Someone mentioned he's supposed to have like a Brooklyn accent, which I kind of hear, but there were not enough
I mean,
lines for me to
also
really
why?
hear it.
I would say
'Cause they wanna
having
do
an
Italian and
entire
that's the closest.
movie with Charlie Martinet as the voice actor would be really annoying. But Chris Pratt
Yeah.
wasn't it? Jack Black as
I mean,
Bowser sounds great though.
Jack Black
That seems very fun.
Oh yeah, Jack Black is exactly what he needs to be.
Yeah.
I don't think Jack Black phones things in. Is what helps. Like he commits and makes big choices, and it's always gonna be fun somehow.
Yeah. I don't
Yeah.
know. Because one of the things that I haven't talked a lot about this because I just really haven't. But one thing I am kind of like.
Did you just say
secretly
you haven't
passion-
talked about it because you haven't?
I really did. I'm sorry. I can't speak today.
Okay.
No, I just haven't because, like, I would say that I am the only one passionate about this among my group of friends, so I just don't bother talking about
Are you
it.
talking
if that
about Mario
makes
Bubble
sense.
Butt?
No. I'm talking about voice actors.
Alright.
I very much am of the movement that I don't like using
Big Hollywood
Stars.
movie
actors.
stars as
Sure.
voice actors.
I can
It
agree
actually
with that
bothers-
100%.
And part of it is I used to do a lot of stuff for voice actors, so I'm very passionate for those people and the work they put in. And so that's what. And so definitely. So there's definitely people online who agree with me. Just nobody I really know, like person to person, that really cares as much as I do. So I don't talk about much. But online, I remember someone was writing something like, this idea of using movie stars and movies to be voiced is just really not fair. These people who have been voice acting have really deserve to have their chance in doing their work in the limelight. Blah blah blah. Except Jack Black. Jack Black can do whatever he wants.
Well, I mean, because
I was
I
like,
think
that sounds right.
the main symptom of the problem is that a lot of star voice actors don't really act when they voice act.
Right.
Like people want to hear Brad Pitt in a movie, I'm going to be Brad Pitt. But like Jack
Yeah.
Black or like voice actors will, they'll do some character work and like do
Right.
something creative with it.
Right. I mean, Jack Black at this point to me is like Mark Hamill. He has done the voice work that he knows how to do it, right? Like he's talented at both. So at this point, yeah, it's totally fine. But like, yeah, I mean, I will say Chris Pratt has done his time with voice work, kind of. He's voiced in a lot of Disney stuff. He was
The
in
Lego
that big
movies.
the Lego movies, the Pixar movie. I mean, he's been in it quite a bit. So it's not like he's bad at it. It's just, I don't know, man. Come on. I think it's like you said, Shar, I'm not sure if I would have wanted the original voice actor to do it
Hell
the
no.
entire time, but like,
Can you imagine a full movie of it's a me, a Mario? Like, what? Fuck that.
I know.
I would have been fine with it. Like, I mean,
You mean if he
Just-
doesn't
just-
really talk that much?
Because if he
Yes,
didn't
exactly.
talk that much, yeah, if he like didn't talk that much, it'd be perfect. But he's obviously gonna have voice lines
Yeah,
and stuff.
yeah.
like
so.
I want it to be like a Luigi's Mansion where everyone just talks like in pictures, kind of, and like physicalization. They don't actually say words to communicate.
What is the name of this movie?
Nerds.
Is it Super Mario Bros? Is Luigi gonna be in
I
it?
don't even know.
Luigi is in
Luigi
it.
is in it.
Okay.
Yeah, he was in the trailer for like 5 seconds.
Wait, he was? Oh.
Yeah, right at the end.
I saw
yeah.
who was
Are,
casting.
are they
him, but I
are
don't
they
remember who
getting
it
John
was.
Leguizamo to get the...
Yeah, that'd be great.
That'd be great, yeah.
That'd be great
The
if
old
John
Mario
Leguizamo
movie was
and,
stupid, but I enjoyed it as a kid.
yeah,
I was
Charlie
a stupid
Day
kid.
is Luigi.
Yeah. Charlie Day. That's the guy from that Philadelphia
It's
show,
always
right?
sunny.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also he's in Pacific Rim.
Oh,
Oh, right.
Kevin Michael Richardson is in it. Isn't he
Kramer?
friggin' Elmo?
Elmo.
No.
Wait, isn't Kramer Michael
Oh no, he's
Richardson?
Captain. I'm thinking he's Goro. He's something completely different. I
Oh.
see. Martian Manhunter. Okay. Oh, you got Fred Armisen, Seth Rogen, Keegan-Michael Key. Keegan-Michael Key doing a voice acting role. Wowie, how rare. No, I love it. I don't. I'm not shaming him.
Why
he's
did I
very
forget
busy.
this? I watched Nope.
oh, you
I haven't
did.
seen it yet. I do.
Did
really
you
want
watch
to
it
see
yet?
it.
I probably
No.
won't just because those
I
movies
probably
scare the
will.
shit out of
Okay,
me.
so,
but it's
um,
I'm
I've heard
glad.
this one's not that scary.
I hate
That's
horror.
fair.
I hate
That's
horror.
fair.
Like, I'm like you, Sarah.
Yeah.
I fucking hate horror.
Yeah.
I did watch Get Out. Creepy as fuck. But I had somebody
Yeah,
with
Get
me,
Out's
so
too.
yeah.
Yeah, the problem is Get Out's theme is like existentially like makes me want to throw up. But
Yeah,
I want to
right.
support. It's like,
Yeah.
how do I support this? Because of the message it's bringing without me watching it myself, because I'm gonna throw up.
So Nope
So-
was.
But Nope.
I don't know. I don't really. It's good. It's weird as fuck. I like that a couple of times the black actors did actually go nope. So like it's actually yeah. And it feels like I don't know, like it's sort of horror, but also like the protagonists are not stupid. Which is what I like from. I didn't watch Us. Us sounds like just from the trailer alone, I was like, "Fuck this! I ain't watching Us."
Us is
Yeah.
definitely scary.
It seems scary.
But yeah, this one has a lot of things going on, and like, there's a couple of things that like is like I don't really know how to explain it. It's one of those things you just watch, I guess.
A little more of a thriller, maybe, as opposed to like a horror movie.
Not even that.
Because I can handle thrillers like mysteries and stuff like that.
Once the mystery, because the mystery did get like not solved, more like you find out what it is kind of thing. This, and then after that, the second half of the movie kind of turns it into a not revenge, yeah, a little bit of a revenge thing, plus also like just the like humans getting back at like I don't know. It's man, I really have no idea how to explain it, but it is good. It is good.
Interesting.
Yeah, and the person I watched it with, she loves horror, and she loves getting the shit scared out of her. And she said this is not that horror-y, but she still liked it, even just as a
Good.
movie. Yeah. Honestly,
Yeah,
I think
fair
you would definitely get creeped out in quite a few
Yeah.
scenes, especially the first half. But that second half is where things get less horror-y. Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Yeah, he's been making some really good shit, I guess.
I'm so happy for him, like truly. Like I said, it's one of those things. I'm like, how as a white person can I support his movies getting made, even if the movies themselves make me sick? And usually, it's not even like the racial stuff that's in it. It's like Get Out. I'm really mind control, mind forced body swap stuff is really like
Yeah.
gross to me.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
it
yeah.
really makes me sick.
Like being trapped
So
in
it-
yeah.
Yeah, and so like to me, like that's too much. Like I am happy that it was made and the message it was trying to promote. Definitely, totally cool with that. But it's literally just that, not even like the racial stuff. It's that just makes me like, ugh. And so I just haven't. I've chosen not to watch it. But it's like I very much appreciate that this is out. I'm glad. Like I'm really glad he's making these movies, and I'm hoping that he's able to continue doing what he wants, the stories he wants to tell,
Yeah.
because it's obviously, from him. So definitely one of those like, so glad they're here, and no.
So
But maybe I'll
like
check out Nope. I'll think about it.
for me, when it came to Get Out, the mind swap thing. For me, what really like fucked me up was the paralysis you feel, like you just being trapped in your
Yeah.
body, not being able to move or do anything, or not
Yep.
being able to control your body. That one really.
Yeah, that I can't.
It is
yeah,
one of my
no, I
like
agree
I've
with
had
you.
sleep paralysis, and it really fucked me up.
Yeah,
like,
I totally know
yeah.
what you're talking about. Yeah, totally get
Probably
it.
one of my worst fears.
I get that.
Just off me
I
by
totally
that
do.
point, please. Like,
I know.
I just wish,
totally get that.
assisted suicide was a thing everywhere, but it's not. So
I know.
I want like a fake tooth I can like crack in a moment of panic and swallow a cyanide
right?
capsule.
Yeah, I know, exactly. Just make it really hard to do, and it'll be fine.
Right. You don't want to be able to accidentally do it.
Exactly. No, I feel you. I feel you. I definitely feel you. Yeah. Well, thank you.
On the topic
Yeah.
of fears,
Yeah.
I played Grounded for an hour last night, which is the
Yeah.
Honey I Shrunk the Kids sandbox game.
Yep.
And
Honey, I
they
Shrunk the
make
Kids
you go
sandbox, yeah.
through, when you boot the game up, they make you go through 2 pop-up windows saying, hey, there are spiders in this game, and we have options to make them less spidery. Are you sure you want to play this game with spiders? And you're like, yes, I'm sure.
Have you
At least they're
encountered a
aware.
spider?
I have encountered spiders. They were fine. There was something else that was scarier. Because honestly, like, noise is more scary to me than like looks a lot of the time.
Right.
And so
Fair.
I was like running through like your visibility is not great in the game because you're so low and everything's so big, like dense grass. You can't see that far. And it's just this huge roar and this giant like thing started chasing me and it hit me once and like half my HP and I was poisoned and it almost killed me like in one hit basically, but I got away. And that thing was scary.
What the fuck?
Spiders haven't been too scary yet.
I thought spiders were like the ultimate enemy in that game. It isn't?
There's a lot of different kinds of spiders.
Oh.
I've encountered 2 or 3 different kinds so far. I haven't killed any of them yet because I've only been an hour, so I've killed ants. That's the biggest thing I killed is an ant.
So yeah, I really appreciate that kind of options in the games because I have
it's really
severe arachnophobia. So yeah, like
I am
seeing
curious
a
what it
picture
does.
and can't sleep, kind of.
Got
Oh,
it.
man.
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
Yep, it is pretty bad.
Are there
You know,
big, big
you know,
spiders
I'm just
in
gonna say,
Malaysia?
I have a colleague, Australian guy. He said like, he just asked me,
He's a
oh,
spider.
when are you gonna come to Australia? And I'm like, I'm never going to Australia because your spiders eat birds over there.
Let me know
I
when you
know,
get rid
I
of the
know.
spiders.
And I said I have severe arachnophobia. You know what he did?
Yeah.
He's like, oh, you shouldn't be afraid of them. And he sent me pictures. I'm like, dude,
No.
he's just
I
dumb
don't
that
feel
way.
heard.
It wasn't malicious.
so
He's just
sorry.
dumb that way.
Yeah, he just wasn't
Fucking
thinking. He thought he
Australians.
was doing you a favor. Fucking Australian. I know. I don't have a severe arachnophobia. For me, it's more of a size thing, though. Like, once a bug reaches a certain size, it's a
Yeah.
big no for me.
Yeah.
And so, Australia's like I've thought about, like, I've never been to Australia, and then I'm like,
Don't go.
ooh,
Don't.
sometimes
Go to
those
New
spiders come out
Zealand.
of your toilets. Yeah, that's true. That's true. I've considered it.
That's where they film. That's where they film a lot of stuff, right?
They do. Well, they filmed Lord of the Rings
Lord of the
there.
Rings
They
is the
probably
big one,
filmed
but
other
they
stuff.
do film a lot of stuff because that's like, I think it does.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, yeah, beautiful. Yeah. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't really have anything. Y'all got anything else?
I don't think so. No, nothing new on the game front at all. Unfortunately,
Mm.
continuing my tabletop game. So that is what it is.
wife
We've been
is
watching
the
more
GM?
House of. For one of
Oh,
them,
okay.
my brother's for another one, and 2 other friends for 2 other ones. There's a lot. There's a lot of them.
So it sounds like a lot. Sounds like a time sink.
3. Well, it is. I mean, that's the thing. Is like
long does a
because
game
I'm
go
in
for?
5 games. It
I mean, sorry, a session.
typically-
A session.
Yeah, you're fine. You're fine. I understand what you meant. About 3 to 4 hours.
Damn. Okay.
Sometimes 5.
Mm.
Yeah. No, they're long.
How
They
do
are
you
time
get?
sinks. I mean-
how do you get people to clear up their schedule for 3 to 4, 5 hours? That's the crazy part. Actually.
That's the big joke. That's all. One of the
That
biggest
is
jokes.
the joke.
That is the joke. You know, when it comes to D&D.
tabletop,
What's the
you're
hardest
right.
part about D&D? Yeah, finding people who will come together and actually have the time to play. Yeah, no, it's not easy. However, every single game I'm in except for one of them is streamed. So it's a
Oh.
lot. It's more, yeah. So it's kind of like part of my wife's streaming schedule. So those who can, like, they know they're going to be on stream, so they make the time for it because it's
They feel more
kind of technically
responsive, right?
Yes.
Right.
Yes, because it's kind of a performance. So they have that. The one game that we do not stream that's more of a family game, my brother runs it, my wife's in it with me, and my brother-in-law's in it, and a mutual friend of my wife and I is in it. So it's like a family game. That one is not streamed, but that's like the family game, so it's a little different. That one, though, does get canceled more often than anything else. So, yeah, it's a thing. Yeah, huge time sink. It is it's so funny because I was like, why am I not playing 14 as much as I used to? And it's because I used to play it when my wife would stream, and she was usually streaming these games. And it just so happened that I suddenly got involved in them because a bunch of them ended and they were starting new ones. So I joined in, or they lost players because people couldn't commit, so I joined in. So then I all of a sudden just racked up to 5. Started as 2, and now here we go. So it is what it is, but it's fun. It is where I'm spending. I mean, some people pick TV shows, other picks video games, and tabletop has become my main time sink per week. So it's fine. I get to play pretend forever. Other than that, the only other thing really that we have been keeping up with House of Dragons, still pretty good. Like I said, if you are interested in Game of Thrones craziness but don't want to get into Game of Thrones, understandably, this is not a bad way to get into it. Way fewer characters, all of the ridiculous drama, but like I said, it's still kind of same things with Game of Thrones if you're not into that. I will say though, they don't they have mentioned rape, but they haven't shown it, so that's a plus.
Sure. Progress.
Yeah.
Progress. So, that's good. But yeah, it's messed up.
I watched a couple animes. One of them's brand new, just came out this week, called Chainsaw Man.
Oh,
Chainsaw
Man.
I've heard of that.
Manga.
I've heard of
First
it.
episode
Everyone's
was
loving
okay.
it.
I'll watch more.
Okay.
I'll definitely watch more.
Okay.
A little weird.
Is it like a heartwarming one?
It's Chainsaw Man.
Not in the first episode.
Okay.
Is
it very
it will be
murdery?
eventually. It's very gory. It might be the goriest anime I've ever seen.
Oh.
Okay.
It's probably not as gory as Blood Plus.
Blood Plus is a special kind of gory. Let's be clear.
Or maybe Gantz. But yeah, it's very bloody. Like the first episode, the only episode is him chainsawing his way through a bunch of zombies. So it's just a lot of blood on his head and everything. Because his head's a chainsaw and his hands are chainsaws. So it's just him chainsawing a lot.
Okay, I totally misunderstood what it was based on what people were sharing online. Definitely not what I thought it was.
I mean, I think there are some things that happen that make me think it's trying to set up to have some very heartwarming things. But there's like this undercurrent of kind of like creepiness, or I'm just like, oh, I don't know if I can really feel the warm fuzzies from anything that's happening. Because the main character's like, oh, like, my dad died and I'm just like a poor guy and all I do is make money by chainsawing demons. All I want to do is eat bread with jam and flirt with girls. And just like, yeah, I get it. Like, poor you, but also you're kind of a creep. That's the way he behaves in some other ways. So we'll see. One episode. I don't have a strong opinion yet. I'm looking forward to watching more.
Is it a weekly thing?
I guess so. I think so.
Okay.
And then the other anime I've been watching, which has been out for a while now, is, I'm going to say it wrong. People are going to hate me. This is how I say it because I'm not Japanese. Spy X Family.
That's right. You have been watching more of it. How do you like it?
Yeah, I've watched 5 episodes so far, and it's definitely... Episode 5 is complete filler. I should have just skipped it. But it's still fun and good. They haven't gotten the dog yet.
They won't. I'm sorry. You're going to see the dog. They will not get it by the end of the season, though. That's happening, I think.
Oh my gosh.
I know. It's really frustrating.
You should have told him that. You should just let him...
No, that's good to know.
I thought I told you last time. I swear to God I did. I was like, just so you know. Yeah, I know. I'm sorry. But still watch it. It's really good.
It's hard because now I'm watching 3 things that have subtitles, so I have to make extra special time to watch these things. But yeah, that's it for me. Yeah, and then game-wise, the only new thing was Grounded.
Okay. All right. Shar, were there any news for us to comment on?
Overwatch 2 is a thing now.
I know they finally have cracked the game, so they can make porn of it.
Okay.
That's all I know.
Um,
That was a whole thing. They tried to like make sure that it wasn't easily cracked, and it was cracked.
what do you
That's
mean by
all I know.
cracked?
Sorry, I think
you
like
mean
the
like
game
pull the
files.
assets? Right.
Yeah, like that kind of thing.
So yeah.
Because that was a big issue last time.
So Overwatch 2 free to play. Overwatch 1 is no longer a thing, and you can it's free. Yeah, free to play. 25 million players right now, which is quite a bit in the first 10 days.
Yeah. Yeah.
But if I remember correctly, there will be a paid portion of the game. It's just the PVE one, right? That one hasn't come out yet, so they decided to release the
That
PvP
sounds
part first. So yeah.
Yeah.
But when it comes to the metas and all that crap, I have no idea.
There's a lot of weird drama. There was a lot of weird drama around Overwatch 2.
Because
and
it's
I'm just
more
gonna wait and
not
see.
really Overwatch 2, but more like a Overwatch 1.2 kind of thing,
Yes.
right? Yeah.
That's exactly it. So I don't play it. I have a lot of friends that have talked about it. Yeah, that's exactly the issue.
Oh,
And
I remember there was a bug. I believe Overwatch 2. People were bugged into buying cosmetics.
Oh, I did hear about this, and they won't refund them or something.
They fixed the bug, but
I did hear about this. Something about their people like like there was a bug where people were somehow
Overwatch 2
like,
refuses
being
to refund
charged.
accidental purchase from auto buy bug. Oh my god.
Yep.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
How
Yep.
is that not against any Europe like EU?
I don't know.
That's insane.
Maybe it will be.
Because apparently like
They'll do it again.
they're not offering refunds for purchases with in-game currency because in-game currency purchases are supposed to be final.
Ah, that's how they're getting away with it. Because you already spent your dollars on the in-game currency. They didn't charge the credit card. They charged the in-game currency. That's how
you
they're
know,
getting away with it.
the thing is, the way they're saying it is like they can't do it. They obviously can. It's so much easier to
Yeah.
Oh, of
refund
course they
your in-game currency as opposed
That's
to
even easier.
That's even easier.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's so easy. Yeah, no, they totally can. They're refusing. They're choosing not to, for obvious reasons, and they can get away with it. It's so stupid because, quite honestly, the amount of money they would lose from just refunding the currencies and letting people keep the cosmetics would be negligible to like their overall profits. But whatever. I guess they're strapped for cash. Yeah, that's ridiculous. It's really strange. Like, it would take so little goodwill to just
Yeah.
refund the in-game currency. But whatever,
And
they're choosing not
I
to.
haven't decided yet whether or not I am actually going to play the next WoW expansion, and this stuff really makes me not want to.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of things coming out about that too, from what I've heard. So that's.
I mean, like, even just this Blizzard stuff, it's like I don't want to
That's
give
fair.
Blizzard money.
I know. I never played a lot of Blizzard, so it wasn't too big of a deal for me. But I don't blame you. It is nasty out there.
So
Yeah.
that's a thing. There's a metaverse company. There's a metaverse company called Decentraland because yes, it's apparently worth $1.2 billion in the market. Like that's the market valuation, and they
Okay.
boast that they have a whopping 8,000 daily users.
Yeah.
The reason why they actually boast that they have 8,000 daily users is because there was a report that claimed they only had 30 active users.
Got it. That's really funny.
Oh my gosh! Stop. Ugh. When will Meta die?
Yeah.
I get contacted by meta recruiters, and I'm very polite,
like
but I just want to
LinkedIn
say,
and
like,
stuff?
I will never work for Meta.
Right?
I mean, like,
Oh my gosh.
they do pay a compelling amount of money,
Mm.
but it's like I don't think I could put up with it long enough.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
Like, what would you even do there? Like, what would you even create? Like,
Yeah, what do they
would
want to
you?
hire you for?
No, would you be?
Oh,
would you
like
even
just
be
automation.
able? Would you even be able to? Oh, because it just feels like, I don't know, they're just throwing money into the drain with a lot of things.
It does feel that way, that you couldn't be proud of anything because it's just gonna not, nothing's permanent there.
Yeah. Just goes to show that.
My friend who works for with Iron whatever studios, the guys who made Aliens Fireteam Elite, he used to work for Meta, but I think he's just working on VR stuff. I'm not sure if he's working on games or the headset or what.
Yeah.
Okay, this one's interesting. There's a what is the name of this? No More Robots is a publisher of like indie stuff. Yeah, like smaller than Devolver. Like Devolver is like big indie, I guess. No More Robots is like smaller indie, but they're pretty successful. Like Descenders is one of their like really big ones. I'm not sure if you've Descenders, Let's Build a Zoo, Yes Your Grace, Hypnospace Outlaw, yeah. So I follow the guy who is the founder, Mike Rose, and he has a very interesting Twitter thread about how Argentina helped to launch, helped to increase the sales of, I believe, Let's Build a Zoo pre-orders. So I'm not sure if you know this, but there's this thing that a lot of people like to do on the Nintendo eShop. By changing your country to a South American country or whatever country, you get to access cheaper games because of region pricing. And you just create a separate account, separate eShop account that is meant for that country. When it comes to payment methods, I'm not really sure how you're going to do it. I believe you can do it by maybe buying a prepaid type of thing, because there are eShop prepaid credit type cards. So you can get those, and then you can get games for really cheap. So like a $20 game might just be $5 in Argentina or something. So these, I guess, quote unquote price cheaters were going to Argentina's eShop to pre-order Let's Build a Zoo in September. And a lot of those pre-orders were coming from Argentina, and the price was like $1.50 after exchange rates. But because of that, it pushed them to like the top of like the best sellers on the eShop. So when you go to the eShop, you get to see the game at the top, which then helped their sales in other regions, which I think is interesting. I'm not sure if they're... Yeah, I mean, I just think it's interesting.
That is interesting.
But yeah, price cheaters, that's the thing. I have like a US account. I have to use a US account.
Price cheating's a weird name. Like, I get that it's, you know, it's not doing like the intended thing or whatever, but like, you wouldn't call me a price cheater if I was on vacation in a different country and I bought something.
Yeah, that's true. But the thing is, like, I would say that the problem with this is a lot of it is Americans changing. So what will happen is, or the risk is, you will maybe the risk is developers will then be unhappy, and then they might remove region pricing, which will then screw with the local like South American or I don't know, Malaysian, like, you know. So like I've seen Steam prices gone up. Like I believe last time on Steam, the really popular country to go to was Russia before they put in all these like region restrictions. But like, yeah, so that's the risk, more or less. That's like the big one. Just pissing off like publishers enough that they will just stop region pricing, so that you don't really have an avenue to like, you know, go to get cheaper games, which will then fuck with like, you know, Argentinian players who actually make really little money, and you know, so yeah, that's the big one.
Yeah, the region pricing is like, for like even Warhammer miniatures, it's still it's kind of similar, but like the region pricing hasn't changed to reflect like the current economy. So like right now I'm spending technically like so much more money than like English people buying miniatures, because like, you know, it used to be like a pound was worth like 1.5, like it's a 1.5 ratio, and now like the dollar's better, so like I'm spending like 3 times as much, like relatively. You know, I'm spending the same amount of money. It doesn't really affect me in that way, but like,
Region pricing is
if I was in England, I could get things.
region pricing is weird, considering that the euros have always been stronger than the US dollar until
Economy
very
is
recently.
weird.
Is
Right.
a $60 game has always been 60 euros. So and also Australia gets shafted. Australian
yeah,
pricing is
hard.
like higher usually, and for no reason other than they can. I mean, if you want to say, oh, like goods have to go to Australia and it's really far or whatever, that's sort of an argument. How are you gonna argue with digital products? It's just
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a thing. That's pretty much it. No big new games coming out. Not really. Like just smaller-ish ones. There's a game called Scorn. That's like a first-person, very horror, very like disgusting-looking horror type of.
It's like a retro dungeon crawler, kind of.
I'm not sure if it's a dungeon crawler or it's a.
Let me see. I think I saw it.
I'm not sure if it's a dungeon crawler or it's like a first. I know it's a first-person like adventure game, but I'm not sure if there's like action elements to it. It's very horror. It's very gory. Like the art style and like it's just very disgusting looking. Like, like seriously, just look at it if you want to. But if you don't have a strong stomach, don't. It's like H.R. Geiger on steroids kind of thing.
Yeah.
I think like you're in hell or something. You do.
It looks like I have no mouth and I must scream.
Yeah,
kind
yeah.
of stuff.
And it looks like you're holding a gun, but I think it's one of those like survivally one where you can't fight every fight you find. Like you know, because you're not like Doom guy. You're trying to survive kind of thing, and you probably don't have much resources. So you gotta choose your.
Kinda like, but maybe more so. BioShock 1.
Maybe.
In BioShock 1, you fought every fight.
Yeah,
but
in
like,
BioShock 1, you eventually
bullets
get
and-
pretty fucking strong. But like very early on, I guess, yeah. Very early on, oh my god, that was a scary ass game. It was really scary.
Yeah. Are you gonna get Arkham Knights? I think it's called.
Yeah, nah, not now at least.
Gotham Knights.
Not now. I think the next. I haven't bought a full price AAA game in a while because I've been buying toys. But I think I think I'll be getting God of War next month.
Okay.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, God of War is coming out. I've been wanting to get Horizon, the new one, the sequel, because luckily they're still making for the PS4. Every time I want to go buy Horizon, I end up buying a toy. It's this, so like, yeah, I'm one of these days I'm gonna fucking get it because I did enjoy the first one. That's pretty much it. Y'all got anything?
All right. I really don't. I have nothing to add, unfortunately.
It's okay. Yeah.
Shall we do the thing?
Shall we do the thing?
Yeah.
Let's do the thing.
We are doing the thing. This is Sarahscopic, Sarahscopic. I'm mostly on Twitter these days. You might be able to catch me in RNG and T. But otherwise, just say hi to me on Twitter. I'll say hi back.
And I'm Foehamner, pretty much only on YouTube.
And I'm Pupunoob, Pupunoob. Mostly on Instagram these days, but also like,
Woo!
Yeah. I'm on Twitter-ish kind of, but yeah, I mostly post toy pictures on Instagram these days. Recently, opened a Beast Wars one. The robot turns into an ant. Oh my god, I love him so much.
That's pretty cool.
It is very, very
That's
fucking
awesome.
cool. Yeah.
Oh, I forgot to mention that Grounded starts up with like you're like watching an old like retro TV and it's playing a He-Man parody called Constrained Girth. That's the name of the main character.
Stop.
It's so great.
Oh, jeez.
Are you playing on Steam?
I am.
Playing it with friends?
It has this weird... I'm playing it with a friend. It has this interesting system where I think maybe you could have a persistent server if you wanted to, but basically it kind of uses like a cloud save thing. So either of us can play separately, and then it syncs to the cloud. So like if I played and made progress and stopped playing, then my friend played, it would sync, so he'd have all the progress I made, and it doesn't have to run a server constantly anywhere, which is kind of cool.
That's very time save, very adult friendly.
Yes.
That's nice.
Yeah, it seems like it's good.
So yeah, this has been episode 199 of the playonultra podcast. Thank you for watching and listening. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.